Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from RAU'S IAS. Do not forget to subscribe to our Telegram channel for all the updates and materials. Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice, a series of videos where we take up questions from Indian Express and The Hindu to make you practice for the prelims examination. Let us now begin the discussion with an important announcement.
Hello students, there is an announcement for you regarding the optional classes which we at RAU'S IAS are starting at Bengaluru and New Delhi Center. The optional paper of Public Administration will be taken up by Anubhav Sharma sir at the Bengaluru campus on 26 September from 3:30 pm. For the history optional subject, orientation class at the Bengaluru campus will be taken up by Parampreet Singh sir on 27th of September from 3:30 pm. And the orientation for geography as an optional subject will be taken up by Indrajit Bariyar sir on 27th September from 6 pm. So these three subjects will be taken up at Bengaluru Center. Shobik Sen sir will take up the optional classes for Psychology optional at New Delhi on 28th of September from 3:30 pm. And this will be followed up by the orientation class of Sociology by Dr. Surendra Singh sir on 28th of September from 6 pm onwards. On 29th September, the orientation class will be taken up for PSIR optional by Rahul Puri sir from 3:30 pm. Whereas on the same day, that is on 29th September from 6 pm onwards, orientation classes for the history optional will be taken up by Kritika ma'am and Mathimaran Raju sir. Next, on 30th of September, the orientation class for public administration will be taken up by Dr. V.K. Kaushik sir from 3:30 pm, which will be followed up by the orientation class for geography optional at New Delhi campus from 6 pm on 30th of September by Vineet Thaplu sir. Now these orientation classes will be conducted both online and also in the offline mode. And these classes you can interact with your teachers about the optional subjects, the nature of questions asked, and also the syllabus provided by UPSC.
So the first question that we have taken deals with hybrid propulsion system, which was tested yesterday successfully by Indian Space Research Organization. Now if you look at the previous year questions, space technology, especially one utilized by ISRO, have been very important. For example, in 2018, UPSC had asked questions on PSLV and GSLV. And not just very superficial or very shallow question, but going detail into the stages in the rocket. And so the question, consider the following statements regarding hybrid propulsion system tested by ISRO. Statement 1 is, it uses solid fuel and liquid oxidizer, which is correct. ISRO successfully demonstrated this hybrid propulsion system. So unlike solid-solid or liquid-liquid combinations, a hybrid motor uses solid fuel and liquid oxidizer. Also, the use of liquid oxidizers facilitates throttling and control over the flow rate of liquid oxidizer, and hence the second statement is also correct, leading us to the right answer C, both 1 and 2. Putin mobilizes more troops, says nuclear threat not a bluff. And because of this statement by Mr. Putin, nuclear non-proliferation treaty has come into news. And a treaty as important as NPT has already been tested by UPSC in 2015, where it had formulated moderately difficult question expecting us to know which of the countries given above are nuclear weapon states as recognized by NPT. And so the question, consider the following statements regarding Non-Proliferation Treaty. The treaty came into existence in 1967 and includes non-proliferation and peaceful use of nuclear energy as its only objective. Now the NPT, which is a multilateral treaty aimed at limiting the spread of nuclear weapons, including 3 elements or objectives. Non-proliferation, however, is just one of them. It also aims towards disarmament and peaceful use of nuclear energy. And since the word only objective has been included in the first statement, it is of course an incorrect statement. The second statement says it is the most subscribed treaty regarding the nuclear weapons and is signed by all nuclear member states. Though the treaty is most subscribed related to non-proliferation, with more than 191 states being party to the treaty, all the nuclear member states are not party to it. For example, India, Pakistan, Israel and North Korea. And so this second part of the statement, signed by all nuclear member states, is incorrect. So both statement 1 and 2 are incorrect, leading us to the right answer, neither one nor two, that is D. Third question is inspired from an article written by Hamid Ansari, who is also the former vice president of our country, where the author makes a lot of references to the preamble and the terms enshrined in it. And so in this regard, we have already seen that questions related to preamble have already been asked in UPSC prelims examination. For example, this latest question in 2021. And so the question, consider the following: source of constitution, type of government, objectives of political systems. Which of the information given above are contained in the preamble of Indian Constitution? Now, of course, statement 1 is correct, because we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into, shows the source of the constitution. It conveys that the constitution itself has emanated from people. When we talk about the type of government, the preamble says that India has been constituted as sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. And so this is the type of government which India will have. And when we talk about objectives of political systems, the preamble proceeds further to define objectives of Indian political system in the form of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. And so all these three are the information which are contained very specifically in preamble of Indian Constitution, leading us to the right answer D, 1, 2 and 3. The next question has been inspired from a news appearing on page number 14. With 19,500 crore PLI plan, sun shines on solar cell units. So the government has launched the PLI scheme for various sectors in the economy. And in the past, the questions related to industrial sector scheme have not been asked, and that is the reason we have not used previous year question. But PLI is different from any other past schemes, and it is very, very important. Consider the following statements related to PLI scheme. The scheme is applicable to the companies which cross the threshold for the investment and sales in a particular year. Now this statement is correct. Incentives are provided under the scheme to only those companies which cross the threshold level in the terms of incremental sale of manufactured goods and incremental investment over the base year. You invest more, you conduct more sales, only then you will be applicable for production linked incentive, because the incentive is not to start a company but to produce more and more. The second statement, however, is incorrect, because scheme does not provide for incentives in the form of land and credit at subsidized prices. The scheme aids beneficiary in concessions on import and export duty, tax rebates, and so the second statement is incorrect, leading us to the right answer A, 1 only. The next article that we have taken has appeared on page number 10, Rules for Identifying Criminals. So the MHA has notified rules governing the Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022, replacing the older act which was in 1920. And since a lot of changes and advancements have appeared in the field of criminology, the changes were much needed. And so the question, the Criminal Procedure Identification Rules 2022 issued by Ministry of Home Affairs provides for which one of the following? Statement 1, definition of measurements, which includes iris and retina scan, brain mapping, biological samples including DNA profile, among others. And so of course statement 1 is incorrect, because the definition of measurement does not include brain mapping or DNA profiling. And so the statement 1 is incorrect. Although the article says that the extension of biological samples can be extended to mean DNA profiling, but as per the definition of the Identification Rules 2020, DNA profiling has not been mentioned. The second statement is of course correct, because conversion of measurements collected in physical form or in non-standard digital format into standard digital format to be uploaded in the database is one of the provisions included in the rules, whereas statement 3 is incorrect, because the rules provide for manner of collection, storing, preservation, processing, sharing, disseminating, destruction and disposal of the measurements, and hence the second part of the third statement does not provide for destruction of measurements is incorrect, making the whole sentence incorrect, leading us to the right answer A, 2 only. So for the next question, we will first have a look at the MCQ and then at the headline or the news article, otherwise you will immediately know the answer. So if you go through the previous year questions, you will find one or two questions directly testing us on terms. Which of the following best describes the term greenwashing? And so the question that we have taken for today is the term moonlighting, often seen in news, refers to which of the following? And so the moonlighting refers to formal sector employees working a second job in addition to one's regular employment, and the term has taken its name because the second job is usually worked during the night. And because during the work from home induced by the corona lockdown, the tendency of the IT sector workers to moonlight has increased because they don't have to go to the office, and so they have a lot of work to work for the second job as well. And hence the news article, Moonlighting, Wipro fires 300 over working for competitors. And this is a very important term which needs to be remembered. The last question that we have taken is from an article in the Indian Express on page number 15. How Ambedkar Circuit is good tourism and good politics for the BJP. So the Union Culture Minister has announced Ambedkar Circuit, connecting places of importance in the Ambedkar's life. And so in this regard, the practice question is, consider the following places: Mau, Ambedkar's birthplace; Nagpur, Ambedkar's conversion; London, Ambedkar's higher studies and research place. Which of the places mentioned above are included in recently announced Ambedkar Circuit? And so, the Ambedkar Circuit, which was announced in 2016, covers Madhya Pradesh, Mahu, which is of course the Ambedkar's birthplace; Nagpur, where he converted to Buddhism, that is also correct. Apart from this, it will include the residence in Delhi, where he lived during his last years, and Dadar in Maharashtra, where his body was cremated, and not London, leading us to the right answer A, 1 and 2 only.